will be asked like these problems. So rationalize the denominator of the following. Okay. Now denominator, if you observe, they are rational numbers. Okay. You have to make that rational. Now in general, suppose you have rational number a in the denominator, then to make that rational you have to multiply by root a. Okay, to that. So root a into root a is what? Root a square, and square root that cancels and we left with a, and now this is a rational number. Okay, like that. Suppose like this you have in the denominator, then you have to multiply by the same. Okay, if only single term is there and that single term is a irrational number, then you have to multiply by this one. Okay. And suppose you have in this type root a plus root b, then how to make this as a rational number? You have to multiply this by this one, root a minus root b. Okay, this is called a rationalizing factor of root a plus root b. And suppose you have like this root a minus root b, then a rationalizing factor of this one is root a plus root b. For example, suppose you have root 3 plus root 2, then the rationalizing factor of this is root 3 minus root 2. Only middle one you have to change. Okay, middle one symbol that you have to change. If a plus is there, you have to put a minus. First term symbol you have to keep same, second term symbol you have to change. If plus is there, you have to take a minus. If minus is there, you have to take a plus. Okay. So now first problem is 1 by root 7. Denominator you have only one term and that is a irrational number. So you multiply by root 7. Okay, to denominator, but if you multiply only to denominator, that will be wrong. So you have to multiply same to its numerator also. 1 into root 7 is what? That is root 7. And here root 7 into root 7, that is root 7 square. And here square and square root cancels, we left with the root 7 dividing by 7. Next second one is 1 by 2 into root 7. You have only one term and in that irrational number is root 7. To make that rational, you have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by root 7. And 1 into root 7, that is root 7. And here 2 into root 7 into root 7, that is root 7 square. Square and square root that cancels. So we left with the root 7 dividing by 2 into 7. 7 into 2, that is what? That is 14. Okay. So here if you have like this surd number and without surd number you have to multiply first. Okay. Here without surd number is 1. Okay, just root 7 means that is 1 into root 7. 2 into 1, that is 2, and surd into surd, root 7 into root 7, that is root 7 square. And here that cancels square and square root, we left with the 7. 7 into 2, that is 14. Okay, like this. And here third one, 1 by root 5 plus root 2. In the denominator you have root 5 plus root 2. For that, what is the rationalizing factor? You have to change the sign of second term only. First term you have to keep as it is, root 5 as it is. Second term sign plus is there, you have to change to minus. Okay, so this is a rationalizing factor of this. And 1 into anything is same thing. So root 5 minus root 2 dividing by. Here you can see a plus b into a minus b form. What is a plus b into a minus b? That is equal to a square minus b square. Okay. So here what is a root 5 plus root 2 into root 5 minus root 2? That is a square. What is a? A is a root 5, b is a root 2. A square minus b square. Root 5 square minus root 2 square. And that is equal to, numerator we can't simplify further. So you write as it is, root 5 minus root 2 dividing by root 5 square. Square root here, square root cancels, 5 minus 2. That is equal to what? Root 5 minus root 2 dividing by 5 minus 2. That is 3. Okay. And fourth one is 1 by root 5 minus root 2. Denominator is a rational number. You have to make that rational by multiplying by a rationalizing factor. What is a rationalizing factor? First term will be as it is in the rationalizing factor. Second term you have to write by changing the sign. Okay, it is minus root 2, you have to write plus root 2. and 1 into anything is same thing. So root 5 plus root 2 and dividing by, this is in a minus b into a plus b form. Either it is a plus b into a minus b or a minus b first, a plus b next. Formula is same, a square minus b square. So here what is a? A is a root 5, a square minus b square, b is a root 2, b square is root 2 square. Numerator as it is, because we can't simplify that further as it is. Here a square root, square root cancels. What we left with the 5 here and minus 2 here. 5 minus 2, that simplifies to 3, and numerator as it is, root 5 plus root 2. Okay. So here you have to keep in mind that rationalizing factor, you have to multiply two denominator to make that rational number. Rationalizing factor, that is important. Okay. For a given irrational number, how to write a rationalizing factor? You have to see like this. First term you have to write as it is, second term you have to write by changing the sign. Okay. Thank you. Next is simplify 64 to the power 1 by 2, 32 to the power 1 by 5, 9 to the power 3 by 2, 32 to the power 2 by 5, 16 to the power 3 by 4. Suppose you are given to simplify these type of problems, then you see that base, first base is 64. Okay. Divide that, you have to divide that each base by prime number. Okay. So start to divide this by prime number, which is the lowest prime number which divides this, that is 2. Okay. Start with 2, 2 3 times 2, how many times? 2 2 times 4. Then again even number, so take again 2 to divide, 2 16 times 32. Then again you can take 2 to divide, 2 8 times and 2 how many times? 2 4 times and 2 2 times again, and when you reach a prime number, stop there. Okay. And count how many 2's we got here. 2 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 2's. Okay. So 64 you have to write as a 2 to the power 6. Okay. 2 to the power 6 is what? That is 64. So that is equal to, I will write 64 to the power half as 64. How we can write that as 2 to the power 6. Okay. And power half is there, that you have to write outside. Next you have a rule like this, a to the power m to the power n, that is equal to a to the power m into n. Use this rule to simplify this. So then you will get what? 2 to the power 6 into 1 by 2. Okay. 2 ones 2 3 times. So what you will get? 2 to the power 3. What is 2 to the power 3? 2 to the power 3 means 2 into 2 into 2. That is equal to 2 into 2 4. 4 into 2 is 8. Okay. So like this you have to simplify. Next. Next second one is 32 to the power 1 by 5. Again base you have to divide by prime numbers. Okay. First we take 2 because this is even number. 2 how many times? 16 times. Then 2 how many times? 2 8 times. Then 2 4 times. Then 2 2 times. Like that you have to take only prime divisors. Okay, to divide. So here how many 2's are there? 1 2 3 4 5. 5 2's. So 32 you can write as 2 to the power 5. Okay. 32, in that how many 2's are there? 2 to the power 5. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5. So 32 you have to write as 2 to the power 5. Use that here. 32 place, now you have to write 2 to the power 5. To the power 1 by 5. And multiply inside power into outside power. So in the power place, inside power into outside power. That gives you what? 5 by 5, that cancels. That gives you 2 to the power 1. That is equal to what? That is equal to 2. So answer is 2 here for a second one. And next the third one. 9 to the power 3 by 2. And here it is easy. 9 you have to divide 9 by prime number. 2 doesn't divide. So go for next prime. Next prime is 3. 3 how many times? 3 times. Okay. When you reach a prime number, when you get a prime number here, you have to stop this. Okay. And 9 is equal to 3 into 3. Okay. 3 square. 2 times there. 3 into 3. So write now this 9 as a 3 square. 3 square to the power 3 by 2. And inside power into outside power. in power place, you have to multiply inside into outside power. 2 into 3 by 2, 2 by 2, that cancels. So what we left with the 3 to the power 3. What is the 3 to the power 3? 3 into 3 into 3. 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, that is 27. Okay. So like that, next one also. Next one is 32 to the power 2 by 5. We already have here, right? 32 is what? 2 to the power 5. So I will use that directly here. 2 to the power 5 to the power, what is there? This is 32. Outside what is there? 2 by 5. So power 2 by 5. That is equal to 2 to the power inside into outside power 5 into outside power 2 by 5. 5 by 5, that cancels, and what we left with the 2 to the power 2. Okay, 2 to the power 2 means that is 2 into 2, that is equal to 4. Okay, that is fourth one. Next, fifth one, 16 to the power 3 by 4. Okay, 16 you have to divide by prime number. Okay, even number, if it is a even number, take 2 to divide that. 2 8 times, and 2 how many times? 4 times 8, 2 times 4, so 16. That is equal to, how many 2s are there? 1 2 3 4. Okay, 2 4s means you have to write as 2 to the power 4. So 16 you have to write as 2 to the power 4 and to the power 3 by 4. Okay, and now inside into outside power, that gives you 4 into 3 by 4. 4 by 4 cancels, so we left with the 2 to the power 3, and that gives you answer 8. Okay, like that. And suppose you have like this 17 to the power 5 into 17 to the power 6, then how you will simplify? That is equal to, if we have same base and multiplication, you can add their powers. Okay, you have loss of indices like this. Okay, a to the power m into a to the power n, that is equal to loss of exponents, a to the power m plus n, this power plus this power. When you have same base and multiplication, you can add their powers. So same thing you have to do here also, because you have same base and multiplication here. So add the powers. 5 plus 6, that gives you what? 17 to the power 5 plus 6 is what? That is 11, like that. Okay, and suppose you have like this problem, 17 to the power 5 dividing by 17 to the power 6, that is equal to, which law you can use here? You have like this law, a to the power m dividing by e to the power n, that is equal to a to the power numerator power minus denominator power. Use that rule here, because you have same base and division. So what you have to do? 17 to the power numerator power minus denominator power, 5 minus 6. Okay, so what we get? 17 to the power 5 minus 6 is what? That is minus 1. And if power is negative in the numerator, you can take that to denominator. So then that power will be positive. 17 to the power plus 1. 17 to the power plus 1 means that is nothing but 17. Okay, so like that you have to simplify. Next, represent root 2, root 3, root 5 on the number line. Okay, suppose you are given to represent like these irrational numbers on the number line. First, you have to draw one horizontal line. Okay, and take the initial point as a O. Okay, next you have to mark one point at 1 centimeter distance. You mark one point at 1 centimeter distance. Okay, so here it is, that point. I will take that point as A. Okay, what is OA length? OA length should be 1 centimeter in your book. Okay, after that you have to draw perpendicular at A. Keep your scale exactly vertical. Okay, exactly vertical you have to keep, and draw one line of length exactly 1 centimeter, not more than that, not less than that. Okay, how much length perpendicular you have to draw? 1 centimeter length. Okay, and take the end point of that perpendicular as a B. Then join that B with the what? O. Okay, after that you have to take your compass. Okay, now this actually OB length is with the root 2. Okay, OB is with the root 2 length. You have to take that length in your compass. Okay, keep one tip at O, another tip at B. Now your compass with the how much length? With the length of this much, that is root 2. Okay, and you have to cut this line, horizontal line by one arc. Okay, that arc and that horizontal line meets at which point? That point you mark as C. Now this OC length that is there, no, that is how much? That is root 2. So below this you have to write which is root 2 on this number line. OC length, that is root 2 units. Okay, in your book that is root 2 centimeter, but here I don't know, this is a 1 unit. Okay, in this scale that unit is different. So this OC is root 2 units. Like that you have to represent root 2 on the number line. Okay, next root 3, that is also same type but a little extra you have to do here. Draw one horizontal line and take the initial this point as O, and from O you have to mark one point at 1 centimeter distance. Take that as A. Okay, from O you have to mark one point at a distance A. Next you have to keep it A, your scale you have to keep it A exactly vertical, and draw one vertical line of length 1 centimeter. Okay, what we are drawing here? You have to draw perpendicular. To draw perpendicular you have to keep your scale exactly vertical. Okay, always. So keep your scale vertical to the horizontal line, then that will be the perpendicular. Okay, and take the end point of that perpendicular as B, join that with the O. Now what is OB length? That you know, that is root 2 units. Okay, now we are not asked root 2, now root 3. Now this is a representation for root 3. Okay, so now for OB length, OB line, you have to draw perpendicular. Okay, so now you imagine this as a horizontal line, then how you have to keep your scale so that that will be vertical to which line? OB line. Okay, so from O you have to draw one perpendicular of length 1 centimeter. Okay, you have to draw perpendicular to which line? OB line, not for this horizontal line. Okay, draw perpendicular to OB line, and that perpendicular must be of length 1 centimeter in your book. Okay, and take the end point of that perpendicular as C, and join that C with O. Now this OC is with the length how much? That is with the length root 3. Now you have to take that length, OC length, in your compass. Keep one tip at O, another tip at C. Now OC with the length root 3, and cut this horizontal line by an arc. Okay, and this meeting point of arc and the horizontal line you take that as next point D. Okay, now this O to D, OD distance is there, no, that distance is how much? That distance is root 3. Okay, this length is now root 3. So here below the figure you have to write OD is with the how much length? Root 3. Okay, root 3 units. Like that root 5 also. Okay, so first you have to draw one horizontal line and take this point as O. Next you have to draw, you have to mark one point at 1 centimeter distance, take that as A. Now keep your scale exactly vertical at A, and draw one perpendicular of length 1 centimeter. You have to draw perpendicular to OA, okay, of length 1 centimeter. Take the end point as B, join that B with O. Now this is with the length root 2, OB with the length root 2. Now for OB you have to draw perpendicular of length how much? 1 centimeter. Every time you have to draw perpendicular of length 1 centimeter only. Okay, now I draw the CB BC perpendicular to OB line, and now you join that O and C. Okay, now this OC is with the length how much? That is with the length root 3. Now you have to draw one more perpendicular, that is for which line? Now for OC. Okay, now you have to draw perpendicular of length 1 centimeter to AC now. To OC, okay, not AC, to OC, okay. To OC you have to draw perpendicular of length of 1 centimeter. Take the end point of that perpendicular as a D. Join that with the O. Now OD is with the length how much? That is with the length root 4. We need a root 5. So one more perpendicular you have to draw. Draw perpendicular to which line now? Now to the line OD, okay. Draw 1 centimeter perpendicular to the line OD, okay, and take the end point of that as E and join that E with the O. Now OE, that is with the length root 5, okay. That root 5 you have to take in your compass, okay, that is length of OE, root 5, okay, that you have to take in your compass. Take like this, keep one tip at O, another tip at E, then your compass will be with the length OE, that is root 5, and you have to draw arc. You have to cut that horizontal line by an arc. That arc and line will intersect at one point. That point you take as F. Next point F. Now this OF length is that is how much? That is root 5. Okay. So this is what? That is OF length, root 5 units. Okay. Like this you have to represent root 3, root 2, root 5 on the number line. Thank you. Next types of angles. You know types of angles: acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, reflex angle, complete angle. These are the main types of angles. Okay. Acute angle means what? Angle which measures less than 90 degree, that less than 90 degree but greater than 0 degree. Okay, that is called acute angle. So acute angle is always less than 90 but greater than 0, 10 degree, 15 degree, any degree which lies between 0 and 90 degree, that are called acute angles. Okay. Right angle means that angle measures how much degree? 90 degree. If angle measures exactly equal to 90 degree, that is called right angle. Okay. Next, obtuse angle. Obtuse angle always greater than 90 but less than 180. Okay. Obtuse angle how? Greater than 90 but less than 180. Any angle which measures which is more than 90 but less than 180, that is obtuse angle. Next, straight angle. Angle which measures exactly equal to 180 degree. Okay. Always a straight line makes how much degree? 180 degree on one side of it. Okay. So angle which measures 180 degree, that is called what? A straight angle. And next, reflex angle. Reflex angle which measures more than 180 but less than 360 degree. Okay. If angle measures more than 180 but less than 360 degree, that is called reflex angle. And complete angle. Complete angle is the angle which measures exactly equal to 360 degree, means one full rotation. Okay. So here suppose you have line OA, and if it takes one full rotation about the vertex O, then that angle is how much degree? 360 degree, means one full rotation. Okay. If OA line takes one full rotation, that makes how much degree? That makes 360 degree. Okay. Like that. Then you have to know complementary angles, supplementary angles. Complementary angles means what? Suppose the sum of two angles is 90 degree, then that two angles are called complementary angles. If a sum of two angles is 90 degree, these two angles are called complementary angles. For example, here if you take a 0 and which 90 degree, these two are complementary angles. Sum of that is what? 90 degree. If you take a 5, then which is a complementary pair for that? That is 85. Suppose you are given in general x angle, then how to write a complementary pair of that? Just you have to subtract that angle from 90. Okay, 90 minus x. That is what? That is the complementary pair of angle x. For example, if you take a 15 degree, x 15 degree. Then what is its complementary pair? That is 90 minus 15. How much that is? That is 75. Okay, 10 minus 5, that is 5. 8 minus 1, 7. Okay, 75. So 90 minus x, that gives what? That gives you complementary pair of angle x. You can take that as a formula. Okay, 90 minus x is what? Is the complementary pair of x. Okay, like that if a sum of two angles is 180 degree, then that two angles are called what? That two angles are called supplementary angles. For example, if you take a 0, then 180 degree will be the supplementary pair for that. If you take 5 degree, then 175 degree will be the complementary pair. If you take 1 degree, then 179 degree will be the complementary pair. So how to get these complementary pairs? To get the complementary pair, you have to subtract what? You have to subtract given angle. Suppose x is the given angle, that angle you have to subtract from 180 degrees. So then you will get a complementary pair. See here 0 degree, suppose these are x values, these are what? These are 180 minus x, complementary pairs. Okay, 180 minus 0, that is 180. 180 minus 5, that is 175. 180 minus 1, that is 179. So suppose you are given one angle, then to get a complementary pair, you have to subtract that angle from 90, and same time to get a supplementary pair of given angle, you have to subtract that given angle x from which degree? 180 degree. Okay, so 180 degree minus x is what? Is the supplementary pair of x. Okay, of angle x. Next, the linear pair of angles. If a sum of adjacent angles is 180 degree, then that adjacent angles are called what? Linear pair of angles. Okay, what is the difference between supplementary angles and linear pair of angles? Here two angles sum is 180 degree, that two angles may not be adjacent angles. But if a sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degree, then that angles are called what? Linear pair of angles. See, for example, suppose you have 60 degree here, that is angle AOB, and 120 degree angle XYZ. Okay. See here these two angles are just supplementary angles, they are not a linear pair of angles. Here 120 degree and 60 degree, these two angles sum you will get 180 degree. Okay, so these angles are called supplementary angles we can say, but we cannot say they are a linear pair of angles. Why? Because these two angles are not adjacent angles. Okay, to say two angles are adjacent angles, they must have one common side, common arm, and they must have common vertex. Okay, suppose you have like this situation, this is a 60 degree and this is a 120 degree, and I'll take this as AOB, this as C. See now angle AOC, that is a 60 degree, and angle BOC, that is 120 degree. Here sum is a 180 degree, and these two angles are adjacent angles. Why? Because they have common arm and common vertex O. Okay, so these two angles sum is 180 degree. These two angles are called a linear pair of angles. Also you can say these two as a supplementary angles, but always supplementary angles may not be linear pair of angles, but the linear pair of angles are always what? Supplementary angles. Okay, thank you.